Welcome back to this thing. Okay, so I have been injured. Watch for food items to regain your health. What does this mean? This means you have to collect anything that might be edible. Mushrooms, fish, anything that you can eat.
Well done, my dear.
Yeah, well done, my dear. But yeah, that's basically it. Just you can carry a maximum of 5 items of food at a time. Don't worry so much about this, because honestly, if you're even remotely decent at these kinds of games, I seriously doubt the health system is going to come into play a lot of times for you, so you'll be fine. Dibs, I've heard that you have something to say about that life bar.
Yeah, I know it's meant to be Gollum, but zoomed out, if you don't put your head closer to it, it just looks like a stereotypical picture of a nerd, because it looks like he's wearing glasses.
You can also press L1.
It's the glasses emoji meme.
You can also press L1 to activate Gollum's heightened senses, which is basically this game's detective mode, basically.
The wraiths! The wraiths!
So now we have to pick a place, maybe so that the wraiths don't get us.
Why
So-
are the wraiths after us?
Because shut up, that's why.
Remember, this was after. If I recall correctly, this was.
Gollum
after
doesn't
Gollum
have the
was
ring
cast.
at this point.
No, but I forgot if this was before or after he was captured for information.
Okay, I will admit the problem is that in the context of
Oh,
the game
I
itself,
have to mention this. You can climb in this pillar, but there's no reason for it. By the way,
I wonder if there was supposed to be something in, but they ran out.
At first I was trying to jump because you can climb on this. I'm guessing I have to go up. Maybe nope.
Like sometimes the rooms are just left with stuff that might have given you at the end than nothing, but it's relatively common to this kind of thing. It's more of a case that it looks more jank here due to the presentation.
I feel like it would have been fine if they put one of the collectibles in here. Like that way, it would have been. It would have served that. Oh, you came into this alternate path. You get a collectible as a reward. But surprisingly, no, the collectible. There's not a collectible in that one because there's collectibles in this game, but there's not one in that room. Which is weird. You'd think that would be a really good spot to put one, but whatever. So again, guys.
Also,
Good job.
also, the detective vision does not look good.
No, it does not. I very rarely use it. I only use it. I'm not even kidding you, Joe. But half of the time, I even forget I have it. To be honest with you,
Is it even really that useful?
it can be useful, but only in very specific situations. Most of the time, I don't really find it necessary. To be honest with you.
So yeah, we got the Nazguls chasing after Gollum for some reason.
They are chasing us. They are chasing us.
I think the detective vision did showcase your trail you could follow.
That is true. Yeah. That's the thing. Too. I'm kind of like on explorer mode right now. I'm just trying to see what I can find.
I'm glad to say, for all the problems, at the very least, that they seem to convey the tension well enough.
Yeah, one thing that in order to move on, you have to actually move towards the Nazguls, which is like, I thought I was supposed to run away from them. And Gollum gets killed. That's the end, guys. Turns out the Gollum you met in the movies / books was actually a different creature. So, there's thoughts on Gollum?
No wonder people hated it. It's too short.
I get the idea it was a section you were supposed to fail in some capacity. If it does, it's not well conveyed.
It's one of those things too where, okay, I get it. Like, Gollum is supposed to be captured. I get that. But I feel like it would have been better if instead I have to run away, then I get to maybe a dead end, and that's when the
What the hell
cutscene...
is that?
She's blind.
She's blind, Wibs.
No, I'm not talking about her being blind. I'm talking about the character model.
Yeah, the character models don't look great.
Oh,
I mean, Gollum's looks. Gollum looks so. Trust me. If you think Gollum's character model looks bad, trust me. Gollum is the best character model in the game because all of the other. I'm not even kidding you. All of the other character models aside from Gollum look like PS3 models.
Oh, there you go.
That wizard.
That
That wizard one looks worse than that Hagrid one from the Philosopher's Stone PS1 game.
I don't know if I go that far, but it does look bad.
I'll just say this: if Gollum is the best-looking character in something, and it's not just for the sake of fidelity, that's a bad sign.
Baggins took it.
And yeah, I forgot if he's supposed to be Radagast or directly Gandalf, but yeah, if you that's actually legit on in the book. Gandalf got to know what happened with Gollum and how he got to relay the information to Frodo.
Mm-hmm. Well, that happened. Moving on. Oh my god, did you notice? Did you notice there was a character that was walking in place at the in the distance in that cutscene?
Oops.
There's also a minor flicker of black during the loading screen. I'm genuinely afraid that this. And by the way, guys, when I was recording part 8 of this game, the game crashed on me all of a sudden during a cutscene. I am genuinely convinced here that this game can literally collapse on me at any moment.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting
I mean,
to.
that's what people reported, so yeah.
Fortunately,
It's like me with Enter the Dragonfly.
Fortunately, the game has a very generous chapter select feature, meaning if you lose progress, meaning if you have to go back to a specific point in the game, you can do it easily. So there is that at least.
So basically,
Also,
this game can be-
did his armor texture just flicker just now?
Yes, it did.
But why?
So this game can basically be summed up
Chapter
as
2, the maggot.
So this game can essentially be summed up as the Nazgul take Gollum to jail.
Okay,
Basically.
so Teo, who is this guy? Because the game kind of treats it like you're supposed to know who he is, if you're a fan maybe. I'm guessing because it's meant to be some kind.
Okay, I may
The
be
Frail
a bit
Man.
rusty yeah, maybe a bit rusty on that, but I don't know if it's an original concept or
Okay then.
they bother to integrate a cam character. I'll try to search info also
Alright.
between parts.
Question: does the game at least itself do a good job getting you to care about this character?
Not particularly, in my opinion, but I'll let you be the judge of it. So right now we're basically grounded, and you can talk to both the orc and the frail man.
I guess part of the issue is like, well, and yeah, I get it, Tolkien verse, not based off of the Jackson verse, but this really feels like a game that unless you are like well in-depth knowledge with the Silmarillion, you are probably not going to know any of the little Easter eggs they put in, aside from ones you might be familiar with if you're just a general Lord of the Rings
So let's go to
fan.
sleep.
But you know what? That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bad. Again, if they can actually make the characters interesting without us needing to know that supplementary material, then fair beans. In fact, this could be a good introduction point for those characters. Why do I get the feeling I am being
Day
overly optimistic
one.
for this? Rise up, maggots!
Yeah, basically.
I don't remember the Shawshank Redemption to be this naked.
I actually
Well,
saw
sure.
the Shawshank Redemption stage play not too long ago.
Alright. Alright. Let's go to the mustering yard.
Mustard.
Well, that's what it says there.
So this is where we'll be spending most of the game in, I understand.
Yeah.
Smeagol doesn't know what to do.
Have you ever wanted to be like a slave doing slave work while being imprisoned in Mordor? Well, this is your game.
Maybe if this were just one chapter, but the majority of the game, that's gonna be a bit
yes
of a
and
tough
no.
sell.
Again, you will see as it goes on, but needless to say, again, it's the first impression that you get still, so...
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'll say this. I saw the merit in a Gollum game, but I always imagined that a Gollum game would take place across the lands of Mordor, as opposed to being localized to just one general location. Now, like Tim mentioned, maybe there's some sparks to it, but the general consensus I have...
I love her name. I love her name is just Cruel Woman.
Still not mean guy, though, Pedro.
Yeah. She's just some woman who's just some woman who's just some...
I
cool,
guess so.
cool woman.
She's the daughter, as we're going to learn later, she's the daughter of the Candleman.
Batman! Whoever he is. Riveting. again, I'm more of a general Lord of the Rings fan, so I'll admit some more specific book lore may be lost on me.
Alright, moving on.
The Frail Man. Like, okay, maybe the idea is that this is supposed to be from Gollum's perspective, and that's why he just sees them as those specific characters.
Well,
Yeah, that is what he calls them. That is what he calls them, yeah.
I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're sick. As long as you run.
Yeah, that's one thing I remember from the older Lord of the Rings film about orcs loving to run.
See that one? Oh, these new slaves are weaklings.
The orcs like them.
I'm not picking up scattered bones again.
Oh, you'll have to. They need all the strong ones I reckon.
They're so evil that part of their construction is made out of bones.
As a general
Us
rule of thumb, in case you need to know, most of the important named characters, unless I specify otherwise, have to be treated as, canon foreigners.
What is
Like I said, while a general idea of what Gollum was doing during those years in between, when he was captured and when he actually started stalking the Fellowship, are told. This game essentially makes up a lot of things that happened.
I'm not usually one to agree with slave beaters and shit like that, like these orcs. But guys, move your asses! Come on, Jesus Christ! Does this need to take this long to get to a place? Jesus Christ!
Yes.
I guess it's to hide the loading times.
But I'm on the PlayStation 5. It shouldn't have to load.
It's one of those David Caging moments, yeah.
Also, that guy's beard is completely static, like, as in it's frigid to be pointing up like that. Pedro's using a ton of hair gel, and I don't think those are common in prison.
Yeah. Then again, this game is also on the PS4 and Xbox One, so I guess to be fair, they have to design the game that way.
Also, what's going up with the wall textures? I'm guessing that the red stuff is supposed to be blood.
Look at the rolling cycle of the Frail Man. It looks.
It doesn't look frail. It looks funny.
Am I supposed to take this seriously? I thought this was meant to be a Lord of the Rings game, not a comic cartoony farce.
I guess it was genuine problem of perspective, because from a side it doesn't look too bad, but from the back or the front it does.
Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the walk cycle of that boss fight you fight with that guy in the penthouse apartment in The Quiet Man when he's lumbering after you.
Alright. So, here's our first task.
First things first. The slaves chase the cattle chases the slaves.
The Lord of the Rings! Chasing cattle into places! Like Michael commentator said, I am not at all opposed to a Gollum game, but are you sure this is the best place in Gollum's story to place the game in? Because I seriously doubt the Lord of the Rings fans want to play as Gollum herding cattle. Like,
It's not really a Gollum.
Are you sure this isn't? Was this meant to be a Harvest Moon Lord of the Rings?
I mean,
No.
I personally don't mind this, but here's the thing. I'm pretty confident Lord of the Rings fans would prefer Gollum's story to take place somewhere else.
It's more of a case of actually doing different activities, ideally.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Because,
Like,
again, but this allows me to mention, like I said, the game took a long time to develop, and as a result, it's because...
Whoa, did you notice? Gollum clipped through the hammer. God.
And because of that, it took a long time to develop, and because of the delays, there's a genuine... there's a genuine good possibility that a lot of stuff that was supposed to be in the game was either cut and or rearranged.
Yeah. Also, here's another thing, by the way. You might have noticed how my health bar was diminished very much during that last one with the cattle. Though, once again, another way you can basically completely trivialize the health system. Just restart from the last checkpoint, because every time you restart from a checkpoint, your health goes back to maximum. So so every time the game autosaves and you're low on health, you just restart from the checkpoint and boom, full health. So
I hate to
so
say
yeah,
it, but
that tutorial we just had about eating to heal your health. You don't need that. Just restart from the last checkpoint. There you
I hate
go.
to say it, but I get the feeling that may have been a last-minute save that the devs ruined because they knew how BS this game was gonna be.
I love it. I love it when programming oversights completely trivializes game systems.
Like I said, part of me fears that that's actually intentional because they realized how crap the game.
Oh, so is that
was,
like instead of
they put
the,
it-
so is that like instead of the K2 where they literally implied a respawning feature in case you got stuck in the environment? I'm not kidding. That's the thing they did.
I'm wondering. 'Cause okay, I'll just say this: with what I've seen from the game so far, I would not be surprised if that's the case. Like, again, not passing final judgment, but man, this game so far has been just.
Also, too, could you please explain to me what the hell the Beastmaster is doing here?
Well, they said that Gollum's supposed to get here. Again, this is a test for the slaves, again, the whole cattle thing.
Sure.
Oh, you were referring to the movies. Okay.
Try!
Snack up. Move.
Also, why does the Beastmaster look like he came out of a mid-gen PS3 game?
Okay, I'm half tempted to mute the game just because of this. I can call it music.
Come on,
Yeah, can you check
Libs.
Libs in the
It's,
meantime what the composer did? You mentioned his name in the first part, but I don't know him.
Remember
Yes,
the
I'll
Come on,
check.
this is a
so come on, Dibs.
Sorry.
You don't want to miss out of the riveting music that this game supplies us with.
I heard worse, technically. This is just ambient
Oh,
noise.
there you go. Now his walking cycle looks fine. What the hell happened earlier?
You were looking it from the front, like I said.
No, I was looking from the back. I was looking from the back,
Like,
though.
Sorry, the back, my bad. But the point is that not from the side, because there was a sequence, a moment where you're passing, near him, and that one wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm
Hold
basic.
on, we're seeing it from the back now, and it looks better.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No. That last one was definitely janky. Like it was not moving well, no matter which angle you looked at it from.
Maybe
This
it
one,
was an animation bug. Oh, okay. I think pay attention to Gollum's hair during this scene.
Does he?
No.
And what does a
Wait
good
for it.
slave do? Oh, a good slave that doesn't know the words? He learns. Maybe you should run.
Did you see? Did you notice?
to be done before the third horn.
Whoa, God!
Also, the Mine Foreman's model also looks early PS3-ish. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it looks like this game is
Actually, you
barely
know-
holding itself together with how much even the models flicker in and out from their base state to how they're supposed to be.
Why the hell
Check,
fuck, Heavenly
check out-
Sword looks better than this game, PS5 game. Go on, those.
I checked IMDb. This is the only credits the composer has.
So this guy is literally a newcomer. Interesting.
Also, he was doing the weird walk cycle again there.
I get the feeling it's an animation bug. Also, wait,
Yeah, I
were
think
those
so.
things flying just, or maybe it was? Okay, never mind. Maybe it's just it's Ash. Okay.
We're close to Mount Doom,
Oh,
so that's why.
I get it, but it's just that the gravity doesn't seem like to be working properly, though.
Speaking of gravity,
Quick, use the bubbles to fly up.
no,
No, you're picking up Birth by Sleep.
You need to avoid them. Yeah.
All right.
Didn't think so.
Moving on. I guess I jump here? Okay.
Oh God, it looks so janky when he so much as brushes
See,
up against
I was tempted to jump straight to that other platform, this platform that I'm in right now. Problem is, if you try to jump to places before the game expects you to, the game will just automatically game you over. So
Also, did you get hurt grabbing onto that ledge?
I know, right? Why the hell did that hurt me?
We'll steal from a higher place.
Yeah, well, I guess, but in that case, how am I supposed to get to that ledge without hurting myself then?
Oh, the tag collecting system.
Yeah, basically we have to collect tags. It's literally a fetch quest. Fortunately, it's not particularly difficult, it's just time consuming.
Why did they want the tags?
The Mine Foreman explained it, for whatever reasons that like because reasons. Just do it. Go on to.
When you think of Gollum having a side activity, something for Gollum to collect, tags, slave tags are not exactly the first thing that comes to mind. You know, more, you know, some form of, you know, precious objects, I guess, would probably something that he deems would be more interesting, like, you know, a chipping from a bottle or something like that. You know, minor stuff that, you know, has significance, but maybe doesn't appear so immediately. But no,
Yeah.
it just feels odd.
Okay, I am about to actually say one positive thing about the game right now. See that lava there? Obviously, if you jump on it, you die immediately. However, one funny thing is, if you jump on the lava and die, you gain a trophy / achievement saying "not yet."
Ah, okay. I see what you did there.
Okay, okay, 1 point for a funny achievement.
You get one.
You get one.
Everybody gets one. But yeah, no, like,
Whoa, the air.
whoa.
I know, right? I mean,
Because again, the idea is that the physics of a model is supposed to rising up with a platform, but it's not registering. Hopefully, as a result, the airs are going up and down.
I don't think anything in this game is registered as well.
I played enough Source Engine games, the one from Valve, to understand that this is a thing that happens.
Sure.
Testing.
I just have to wonder, what did playtesters have to say
Whoa.
if there were any playtesters?
Jova, implying that there was any playtesting in this game to begin with, yes too.
I noticed also that the lag glitched for a second.
I know, right? That's a faint tale. That's a faint tale. You need to be on precise eyes to find every minor little glitch, because this game is always glitching, no matter how minor.
Also, Pedro, you want to give to the audience a context in which state the game is, just so they understand exactly the entity of the damage.
Okay, so basically, I'm playing digitally, which means I have the most patched version, 1.04.
Yeah,
so
when we're recording this, all the latest patches happened. As far as we know, we're recording this in December 2023. So we don't know if Daedalic will ever, or anyone else will ever release any other update of any kind.
I mean, at this
But
point, that's
keep in mind, the dev company that made this game, they're shuttered. Daedalic are no longer
well,
developing their own
yeah,
game.
they're still going to keep working as a publisher,
Which
but
they did until this point anyway. So.
I mean, which is interesting because if you look it up, there's a new Deponia game in development. So who's making that then?
It's you know, one of their my internal stuff, if I recall correctly, and don't bother with it too much because the story concluded with technically the third game. The fourth game is more of an explanation of why that happened, and this new one, if I recall correctly, it's a full-on spin-off. So again, don't bother.
Okay, so
The overall deal is that Daedalic as a dev company are dead, sadly. And again, this is the game that killed them.
And again, but that's the thing, Drova. They haven't really been that much, and it shows. They mostly, you know, did publishing. It's kind of like 505 Games, which is a company here in my country, which tends to be just publishing for minor titles that don't want to be associated with one of the big ones, but don't have enough money to be completely independent and need someone to sustain them, you know, in some capacity.
I also have to
That,
wonder, did Daedalic as a dev company really deserve to die for this game? Oh, don't get me wrong. From what I have heard and from what I'm saying, the game's horrendous.
Well,
but
Jova, the movie, the Fellowship of the Ring movie, remember, gave us the quote from Gandalf. Many who deserves, you know, death live, and many who actually live deserve to die instead. Who are you
That
to
is-
judge for that?
So here's the thing.
is
Well,
true.
I can based on what I've based on what I've
That's
looked into Jova, it seems like some of the developers that worked on the game said that apparently the publisher wasn't making development easy for them because they were there you go. Not yet. According to the developers, the publisher expected them to deliver a AAA game on a budget that was clearly not enough, not sufficient for that purpose.
yeah, I'm definitely seeing that.
And
Overly ambitious and bad working conditions, basically.
yeah, basically.
So, executive meddling.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Not to mention, Daedalic, even before this game, is a small company, so they were never really equipped to make a game like this. So I really have to wonder what made them think to begin with that this was a good idea.
Again, I appreciate the ambition, but if you know you're mostly good at something, and you really shouldn't try to chase, all the time the more, advanced graphical type of stuff that happens. Like, sure, it did work out for studios like Asobo with the Plague Tale duology, potentially trilogy for the future, but it cannot happen all the time, and it seems that the orc is like, what the fuck is he doing?
Why was the game letting you parkour there?
Beats the hell out of me, Jova. Go on to.
And it seems that the lesson that happened in between the passage of the PS2 to the PS3 and subsequent other, red kind of generation, that killed a bunch of studios because they could not adapt to the new HD format, wasn't particularly learned, because it seems that it's happening again with this stuff. Like, there's a reason why indie games are thriving without having to rely too much on graphics instead, preferring pixel art instead.
How bad do you have to be that even Superman 64 can boast over you, well, at least I didn't kill my dev company?
Well, listen.
I actually don't remember what game killed the Titus, to be honest.
Titus was a company that died from 1,000 cuts, rather than one specific cut.
Again, it's amazing that Superman 64 didn't kill them, but honestly, I will say
RoboCop
this.
did, apparently.
Right, the RoboCop game. I remember because
right.
the guy that I mentioned I started following recently, CB11, did cover it and talked about it.
So, I will say this, though. One way this does remind me of Superman 64, glitches and bugs up the wazoo to the point where you can't even take a step without noticing either a graphical flicker or the game just not working.
This is the latest patch version.
Yeah, not you know what's interesting? Like, that's the thing, Jova. Like, the game keeps glitching all the time through many as graphical glitches, and trust me, believe me, later on the glitches are gonna get worse.
Okay, wait, hold on. He fell into lava, but the animation he gave was for falling onto a hard surface, but his body still combusts. What?
Because maybe it's some kind of spell that Gollum learned. I don't know.
So why was the parkour just refusing to work at that wall, even though, according to the wavy lines, it should
the
work?
The thing about the parkour is what you just saw was me experimenting. Here's the basic gist of it, Jova.
Not yet.
Yeah, not we can't rest now, Smeagol. The point is, you can only parkour, Jova, in the specific spot that the game expects you to, specifically when you're right next to the wall.
Well, I know. I mean, again, that's why I said there was the drawing for that, but it wasn't working for some
Well, yeah, but
reason.
that's because the game only expects you to parkour from the left to the right. You can't do it in reverse.
What?
Don't ask me.
Serious?
Yes, I am serious.
So you can parkour one way, but you can't parkour the other.
Don't you just love that when the platform in your game has to be scripted just to look more fancy?
Like, I don't know if I've ever seen something that scripted. Oh, okay, maybe I have seen stuff that scripted, but never this scripted with the sense of you trying to go back and just being blockaded like that.
This is one of those games.
Something.
This is one of those games, Jova, where you have to play it on its own terms, and that's it.
A game like Ghost Trick, that can work with maybe, but this ain't Ghost Trick.
No.
I mean, isn't that a point-and-click game anyway?
Ghost Trick, Gollum Detective.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, what Jova means, Tail, is that there's only one solution for the puzzles. There's not, but that's fine because the game does a good job in making the puzzles interesting. So.
And you still do get to play around with stuff and get some different outcomes based off of certain things you do. But yeah, generally, to actually proceed the story, there is one specific direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember, the Ace Attorney games are also like that, where there's always the specific piece of evidence you have to use at any given moment. So.
there were those rare occasions where different pieces of evidence could get you the same way, but yeah, generally, that is more or less the formula between Ace Attorney and Ghost Trick. So again, that sort of game, it can work with. This, though, I'm sorry, like, this game acts like it's a... I don't want to
Platformer.
say open world... Yeah, like, I don't want to say open world platformer, but definitely more of an explorable one to the point where you're supposed to go around a map. Apparently not, though, because even backtracking is apparently scripted against you.
This is a very
what the
linear.
heck?
This is a very linear game, Joe. But you're supposed to. It's a linear narrative-driven action adventure platformer type game. So there's always the exact specific spot you're going to. There aren't even any side quests that you can do. Not really. At best, you can go out of your way to get a collectible that you can, and the only thing you get from getting set collectibles is Gollum says one thing about said collectible, but that's it. Like it doesn't even get the lore. You don't even collect the lore. The lore just automatically unlocks as you progress through the game, and that's if you buy the lore compendium DLC. So.
Oh boy.
Tune in next time, everybody, where we finish collecting the tags. So hopefully Gollum will not, cause another time paradox by burning into lava when he's not supposed to yet. So see you then.
One can hope.
See ya.
See ya.